is Jay Lee. I'm an advisory platform architect at Pivotal. So I got like 15 minutes to talk about the function as a service that we just announced at Google Next. Happens actually like 2 weeks back. Okay. So we'll be like short, a little bit of presentation plus demo. Okay. The Knative and Weave. I'm gonna talk about what this is really about, and I'm going to talk about the Weave as well. So what is this thing, Knative? Okay. So layman's term. Simple way for developers to deploy and run serverless apps or functions, top Kubernetes and Istio. Okay, so Istio actually becomes GA. This is version 1.0 just came out a few weeks back. So we are actually using again the Istio internally, and we are running. We are building the platform on top of Kubernetes for the function as a service. It's actually the core development from Google and Pivotal. So what Google said was actually Pivotal has been the instrumental in the design and the delivery of Kubernetes. Again, we are really working closely together. So they are really appreciating our effort, our investment on this platform. So we will release this new product called Pivotal Function Service soon, probably in like September or October timeframe. So what does it do? So actually, this is really, again, the function as a service where you really have to only care about the function itself, the business logic itself. So actually, it has a capability to like source to container, meaning actually you just submit your function, like Lambda, right? Like Lambda from Amazon Web Service. So as a function, you just submit your function. We actually automatically wrap it up as a container and run it on top of the platform. Scale with events, meaning actually, let's say if you have an incoming event, then it will just automatically scale out, like from 0 to 1, then 1 to n. Then if let's say the load starts coming in, it just scale into 0, okay, like n to 0. So we call it as scale to 0. Okay. So you can do the rollout upgrades of the functions, and you can also perform the rollback on the fly. And triggers function. Now the current version is actually the 0.1. It's actually the kind of alpha version. So you can actually call it by HTTP request. And we are actually planning to actually introduce the event like a Kafka or the Google pops up to invoke this function. So what components? Actually, the Kubernetes, the latest version, they introduced something called the custom resource. Okay, we're actually really using it to build this platform. So we built this custom resource called serving. And the build, eventing, as I said, right, it actually again builds your application and it wraps it up with the containers and run it on top of the platform. Okay, so it comes with the platform to run your application. It comes with the build that they can automatically again build your application or source code, then eventing that, they can actually get the event from the pops up or again the messaging system. So actually there are like 4 primary resources. Service, I'm sure that you know service, right? If you are using Kubernetes, there's like the component called service. So you're using service, and under the hood we are using configuration and revision and route. Those are all the custom resources. So I'm going to demo this thing, okay? I would like to do the live demo, actually. It fails all the time, and I really cross my fingers, okay? So, yeah, this is the manifest. Can you see it? It's a bit, okay, it's better. So again, as I said, it's using service, and it's using those configurations, it's using, again, at the end of the day, this is using the container image. It's actually written in Go, the sample application. Just say hello, like hi, right? Just very simple. It's a very simple application, and you will see the message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it on the platform, okay, on Knative, and I'm going to show you how it works, okay. First of all, I need to actually deploy this service. Yeah, so you can see I just kubectl create the service. It's actually the initializing containers and creating containers, and it's running now, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just invoke this using call, okay? Yeah, so it's very simple. I mean, you see, this is just say hello world, like Go sample version 1, which I actually defined on my service. Right, Go sample version 1. What it happened again was it goes again, it's actually using the container image to again create the pod and initialize pod and run it on top of the platform. Okay. So what it does is actually again it scales back to 0 when there's no event coming in to this function. Okay. So this is actually again just using the sample container image that you actually do it every day, right? Every day it's like basic Kubernetes like service deployment, like deployment. Okay. So I want to talk about this, okay, this thing. Yeah, so there's a project called RIF, okay? So Pivotal annually hosts a conference called Spring One Platform. So this is happening this year in September in Washington, D.C. And last year, it was in San Francisco. We announced this project called RIF. So what is this RIF, right? RIF is actually designed for running functions in response to events. Okay, last December we announced this project. Then we realized actually that Google was embarking on the new project called Knative for actually really providing the function as a service platform. So we re-architect our project, RIF project, to actually accommodate Knative. Okay, now RIF can run on top of the Knative. And what's the value it's giving to the developer? First of all, do you know this gentleman, Kelsey Hightower? He's really very well known for the Kubernetes guru. He's working for Google right now. So what he said was, I was able to learn and understand all those RIF thing in less than 2 hours. To understand the concepts like in and out, it only takes like 2 hours to actually hit the ground. So it's actually that easy to use this thing called RIF. So what I'm going to do is, so the part that I showed you last time, previously was this part. We're using just a container image to run on top of Kubernetes. I mean, there's no real value that that's given to the developer. So I'm gonna actually demo this thing called RIF. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how it works. Okay. So I should, this is my sample function as a service written in Spring Boot. So how many of you know Spring Boot here? Oh, really? Like 20? Very small, okay. Anyway, so you can actually write a function using Spring Boot because now we've introduced the Spring function, the dependency, startup dependency on Spring Initializer. Can actually use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again build this function and run it on top of the Knative and show how it works. Okay. So I will actually change this thing to like hi backhaul. Okay, very simple. And I'm going to build this application and run it on the platform. Okay. So I will use this build script. It's just building the Spring Boot application and push it to the Git. That's it. Okay. Very simple, right? Just package, Git commit, that's it. So I'm going to run this application. So this is the command. I'm actually specifying my Git repo, my artifact name, my handler, which is like say hi, and the image location. So say hi, again, this is the function name here, say hi. Right? So I'm going to just build it, and I just built it, so I'll just run it on the Knative, okay? Okay. You see now initializing the containers here. It will come up soon. Okay, now you see while we are doing this, it's terminating the previous function, which is the hello world goal. Because I didn't actually use it for about like 2 minutes. So it's actually auto-scaling back to 0. And if I invoke this function again, it will just come up automatically. It has an auto-scaler inside. So it takes a bit of time. So while we are waiting for this, let's look at the Grafana. Yeah. So this Knative comes with the monitoring dashboard. Is using the Grafana. So you see that I just invoke that hello goal once, right? So it's saying that it scales to 1. It scales back actually, so it goes down again. It comes, actually the cool thing about this is it comes with the Zipkin as well. So how many of you know Zipkin? Just one people in the room? Okay. So Zipkin is actually the microservice, right? It usually talks to like different services, meaning you will have multiple hops, A service to B service to C service. So usually what it does is it just do the distributed tracing of your microservices. Actually, you can detect the exact latency bottleneck from your whole path, like A to B, B to C, C to D, right? You can actually find the exact location. So let's see. I remember that I invoke this function once, right? So I can see the one trace here. Yeah, so it doesn't actually tell you much about the application itself, but it's actually using Istio internally. So the sidecar and the subsurface map is actually baked into the platform already. So let's see okay, so initializing, okay, might take a bit more time. So let's wait. So what I'm trying to tell you in this session is, now function as a service again, we support Java, Node.js, Go, and Shell. You can actually just build your function like this, and tell the Reef like create the function. And it's initializing now. It's going to come up soon. Sorry. So one single command here, right? So Reef function create Java, Reef function create Node.js, Reef function create like Go. You can actually create your function and deploy this into the function as a service. Just one single command. And let's see, so 2 or 3 are running, so almost there. Okay, three are running, right? Function reef that I just created. I just create it from my IntelliJ, just push it to my Knative, right? So I'm gonna invoke this service. So I'm using the call. Yeah, okay. So hi Bangkok J. This is just I created from my IntelliJ. Okay. The one last thing I will show you is I will show you the auto scale part. Okay. So I'm going to use the tool called this Vegeta. It's actually very convenient. It's actually command line load fast tool. It's like open source. It's very convenient when it comes to test your application like quickly. So I'm going to use this to show you what happens. Okay. So remember, okay. Right now, there's no hello world, right? The one I use it, right? It's just gone to 0, so you don't see anything wrong. But it's still there, okay? It's still there. It just scale back to 0, okay? I'm gonna invoke this. I'm gonna show you again the auto scale part using this script. And show you what happens. Yeah, from here, actually, very short time, it was 0 deployment and becomes 1. Now, like, it's really like scaling out to 10, 1 to 10, because like really I'm like heavily loading this function. And starting the containers, the function essentially. So it will eventually become 10, because now is again the desired status is 10, so it's really setting and creating the containers, pods across the node. Okay, it might take some time. Yeah, it's running more and more. Hope I have enough resources, okay? So it's pending, running, path initializing, all they're doing it now. Okay, so path initializing, so it's gonna take some time to initialize it. So let me stop this load. Yeah, it comes back from 10 to like 2 immediately. Right? So it's actually scaling back to 0 instance. Okay, hope you understand. The concept here. So our approach again as a company is very simple. So PKS, the collaboration between Google and Pivotal is for the again container as a service. The basic unit is container. That's really platform to run your container. So we have this thing called PAS. That's actually the minimum unit is application for developer to run their microservices like in a minute. That's the platform that you will use. It's really good for the web-facing apps and HTTP. And this thing that TFS that we will release soon based on Knative. So again, this is the basic unit is function. There's really events and fully managed environments. Meaning again, the developer should just only care about the function itself. Anything else is again taken care of by the platform itself. Okay, thanks.